The face of industry in Port Alberni has been relatively static over the past decades, dominated by paper and lumber mills located on the harbour. But recently, a newcomer has set up shop, Cantimber Biotech, an enterprise that is set to capitalize on what would otherwise be waste wood.
So what we do here is that we convert wood residues that are left in the forest here into activated carbon.
Activated carbon is most commonly used in water filtration systems, and Cantimber will be producing it using a two-step process. The first step is pyrolysis.
Pyrolysis is essentially heating in absence of oxygen. So instead of burning, it turns into a charcoal. And the second part is the activation. Activation involves on a microscopic level, it empties the pore structure. In our entire process here, we do not add any chemical additive, whether it's harmful or harmless, because that's part of the requirement by our customers.
It is an interesting process, and one that actually uses the wood gas released during pyrolysis as fuel.
It's like a biogas composition where it's self-sustainable. So all the heat in the system, heat requirement and energy requirement in the system is supplied by the wood fiber itself.
But sustainability aside, there are two smokestacks on the Cantimber facility, and given the regular temperature inversions that the Alberni Valley experiences, neighbors have been concerned about just what is being emitted into the airshed.
First of all, the stack behind you here is the activation stack. We have a three-stage dust removal process. We also had a third-party environmental engineering firm who conducted a study on the emission. And they realized there's a benefit of reducing pollutant emission compared to the slash pile that's happening at the moment.
There's also a benefit to the company as they actually monetize the particulates that would otherwise enter the airshed.
We're in a very unique situation with the activation is that the dust, all the particulates, they actually are products. So there's economic motive for us to maximize the recovery of every single particulates because they're worth economic value for us. In fact, our system, according to the engineer, is supposed to recover over 99% of the particulates.
Cantimber is not yet in operation, but they have been conducting commissioning trials since December, something neighbors became aware of when during one of those tests, a strong smoky odor and visible steam was released.
So on 5 previous commissioning trials, the neighbor hardly noticed that it was emitted. But unfortunately, the previous weekend, our west scrubber valve has cracked. But this is also, a experience and lesson learned for us that we have our spare parts now. So any similar event happen in the future, it will only take 30 minutes for us to repair.
In the meantime, Cantimber is submitting regular air quality tests to both the Environment Ministry and the local Air Quality Council. And they're eager to answer any questions their neighbors may have.
Because we live quite close, we're only 2 blocks up the hill. So we can feel and detect what our neighbor is going through. For any concerns, the best channel to get immediate feedback is email us at info@cantimber.com.
For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Nancy Wilmot.